Hello, my name is Raven Franklin. I am a first-year graduate student at Norfolk State University in Norfolk, Virginia. This study is supported by the School of Public Health Initiatives of Norfolk State University. Today, the study I will present to you is titled The COVID-19 Pandemic and Children's Mental Health, a Systematic Literature Review. COVID-19 has been a popular news thread since the virus outbreak. The outbreak has led to businesses shutting down, citizens losing their jobs and their homes, overcrowding in hospitals, and the loss of many lives. The COVID-19 pandemic has drastically changed the life of everyone in this world, especially our children and adolescents. Children and adolescents have never endured a life-threatening event such as the COVID-19 pandemic. This pandemic has disrupted their daily routine because of school closures, social isolation, fear of family members and friends becoming ill and potentially dying, and becoming victims of cyberbullying. Children have developed psychological disorders such as, but not limited to, depression, anxiety, stress, and panic attacks. Unfortunately, the children with pre-existing mental disorders, such as autism or intellectual disorders, have experienced their conditions worsening because of the disruption or altering of previous treatment and services. As we know, mental health is a popular topic because it affects the well-being of a person and how they interact in the world. If we do not address how the pandemic is affecting our children and adolescents, we could be preventing them from receiving the necessary treatment and services needed in a timely manner, and their conditions could potentially worsen over time. The research question presented to you is, how has the COVID-19 pandemic impacted mental health of the children and adolescents? The hypothesis: the COVID-19 pandemic has caused psychological challenges and disorders for children and adolescents. This methodology. This study is a systematic literature review. We have gathered 26 articles from databases such as JAMA Pediatrics, Medline, and PubMed. The articles consisted of longitudinal studies, qualitative studies, and systematic reviews. While collecting our data, we have discovered that there are many causes that has led to children and adolescents' mental health deteriorating. The stressors that they have endured has included lack of privacy, boredom, witnessing false information about the pandemic through the media, and the lack of social interaction due to quarantine restrictions. Due to the world making a drastic shift to an online environment, bullying and cyberbullying has increased. In result, children and adolescents have developed depressive symptoms such as loneliness, suicidal ideation, and suicide attempts. As you can see, a few psychological disorders are depression, anxiety, PTSD, and stress. The assessments used to discover the percentages of depression among children were the Child Depression Inventory, the Depression Self-Rating Scale for children, and the Depression, Anxiety, and Stress Scale. The results concluded that children range from 11.78% to 22.6%. The assessments used to examine anxiety were the Screen for Child Anxiety-Related Emotional Disorders, the Spence Child Anxiety Scale, and DASH-21. The anxiety score for children were 23.89 plus negative 15.97, and the score for adolescents were 29.29 plus negative 1970. Finally, to measure PTSD and stress, researchers used the PTSD checklist civilian version and DASH-27. The results showed that 14% of the population, ranging from 14 to 35 years old, have PTSD symptoms. To conclude our study, more children have been diagnosed with mental health disorders in effects to the COVID-19 pandemic. The act of school closures has altered daily routines, leading to the lack of social interaction, no extracurricular activities, and depressive symptoms. As we are still in the heart of this pandemic, we are unaware of what changes could present itself in the future. We hope with our research we can get the message across that the pandemic has negatively affected the mental health of our children and adolescents and how they need the support from family, school administration, and the community. Again,